Hello and welcome to Ignite with Mwangala, with me, Mwangala Chakalashi Santos. Now remember, this is a program where we bring people that are supposed to be sharing their stories that are meant to leave a positive and lasting impact on your lives. Now these are real people with real stories. My guest on the show today is no other than Miss Esther Mwata Katongo, who is the police spokesperson. Now, all of us know her because every time the police has to speak to us, they speak through her. Miss Katongo, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Mwangala. I'm humbled to be here.
I'm so excited to have you on the show. I'm checking myself. Do I have any crimes? Am I okay? You know,
No.
when you're talking to police, you have to check yourself and see, is everything okay? But everything is okay.
No, actually, when you see us, you have to be happy. You have to feel good. You have to feel protected.
And
Because
safe.
we are not there to harass people,
I like
but
that.
to protect people according to our objectives.
Fantastic. I love that. Now today, of course, we're going to talk a little bit on your career, but we just want to find out, who is Esther Mwata Katongo?
Thank you, Mwangala. Esther Mwata Katongo is someone who was born from a family of 8, 5 girls and 3 boys. And she's one person who spent most of her life in the rural setup. Because my father was a community worker. He was working for community development, and most of such programs are implemented in rural areas. So most of our lives was spent in rural areas. Most of my childhood time was in Serenge, outskirts of Serenge, that is Mulidima. It is a remote part of Serenge. At that time, there was no power, you know. Would go. I started my grade 1 at Mulidima Primary School and moved from Mulidima when I was in grade 7. That's when we came to Mkush. So that's when we started at least seeing the urban type of life. So I am a married woman with 5 children. I have 4 girls and 1 boy. And among my 5 children, there's a set of twins, a boy and a girl. Basically, that's who Mrs. Katongo is.
Okay. Now, obviously, when the police has to speak to us, they have to come through you. But before we get there, who inspired you to become a police officer? And did you ever think one day that you would be where you are today?
I never thought that I would be in the police. It's something which never crossed my mind. When we're at school, you know, you have dreams, and I thought I would be in the engineering sector because I was very good in mathematics. So my passion was being an engineer or in the engineering sector. But with time, when I was staying with my aunt right here in Lusaka, in Chawama, before we moved to John Lane. You can see the type of life that I was
Yeah.
So one time she saw a traffic officer on the road, a female traffic officer. So when she came home, she said, you know what, I saw this traffic officer. She looked so, you know, smart, and she was there controlling traffic. So I was picturing you being an officer, a police officer. So I just brushed that aside. Then time came, I went and did my diploma in public relations, journalism and public relations. Then went to Kabwe, where I did my attachment. I was there as an intern. I did my attachment there, then after writing my exams, went there as an intern. So I was working for Zambia Information Services, which was called ZIS.
ZIS, yes.
At that time. And that's the time when we had ZANA, Zambia News Agency. And the two, when they were merged, they are the ones that have got, that's the ZANIS that we have today. It was a merger of Zambia Information Services and ZANA. So I was with Zambia Information Services, where I did my internship for 1 year. Then as I was doing my work as a journalist, I would cover a lot of stories to do with police. So whenever there was an assignment to do with police, I would be assigned to go and do that assignment. So as I was doing that, there was one senior officer at that time who was the deputy commanding officer for Central Province, who was calling me his granddaughter. So he said, my granddaughter, I feel you have to be in the police. Because with this background of public relations and journalism, we've got public relations in the police. That's where we can take you. I brushed that aside. But with time, he insisted. When there was a recruitment, he just told me, go and attend the interviews. So I went. And just to make him happy, I went. And I was picked. That's how I went now to Relay. But still, I was thinking of my journalism work, profession. Yes. That's how I joined the police. Not that it was my passion. Yes. And at some point, I had also explained to my father to say, there is this second in command for Central Province who is saying, no, I should join the police. Him was happy with that. So every time I went to visit him, we would ask to say, now when are you joining the police, you know? So it is something that came with, like people wanting you to be in that area, in that profession, without you yourself really wanting to be there. So when I joined now, that's when I developed the interest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you say you're enjoying it now? Because, I mean, you say it with a lot of grace whenever you're talking to the country.
Yes, actually, I'm enjoying. You know, the way it is, God works through people.
Yeah.
So maybe what I wanted was not something that was going to have me prosper and be where I am today. Maybe I would have gone in a different direction. Maybe God was using other people, because a lot of people, from my aunt, and my aunt was here in Lusaka. From there, it came to the second in command. Then I just explained to Dad. He also developed interest. Then I think God used people for me to be where I am. And I can say that I love this job, and I've always been saying that. Yes.
And I think it suits you.
Thank you.
It does. If you're joining us now, I'm talking to Madam Esther Mwata Katongo, who is the Zambia Police spokesperson. Now, let's talk about your family life. You are the policewoman, you're also a wife. How do you strike a balance between the two?
Yes, generally, being a career woman, whether you are a police officer or yourself or you are working in other sectors, it is something which needs balance. It's something which needs attention so that you are able to balance your life well. Talking about myself, yes, our job, like for me, I speak for the police. Yeah. I don't speak for myself. I speak for the institution. And our office also deals with complaints which come from members of the public, being public relations office. So we don't have a limit, like on time, when people should call you, when you need to, at what time are you going to attend to a complaint that is coming from members of the public. Moreover, our lines, we give them, even when we are in the media or on a program, you'd give your line for easy contact with members of the public. So a lot of people have our phone numbers, or they have my phone number. So anytime they have a challenge, whether 02, 03, midnight, they do call. So all that, again, it has to be in an environment where you are able to do your work. So I would say that I receive a lot of support from my family. I've got my husband. Luckily, he's also in the system. Oh, okay. He's also a police officer, and he understands my job. So even in the night, sometimes he would say, I want to sleep. People are disturbing me. Let me put this line on vibration. He would say, no. What about if someone is in dire need of your help? Maybe someone is being attacked somewhere. So he's supporting. So for me, it's just a matter of finding time. When you have time, you find time to be with your family. Even as shortest interaction with your family, as long as you are with your family, I think I usually find time. When I'm not very busy at the office, I would find time to go and be with my family. But at times it gets tense, depending on the situation in the country. You'd find that early in the morning you are away from home, coming back late, maybe your children are asleep. And at times, my youngest child would even ask me to say, Mommy, can't you tell your boss that you are tired? Because you'd go for work in the morning, maybe you knock off, maybe 17 hours you are home, you have got an interview, maybe at 21 hours, or at 21:30, or at 18 hours, or 19 hours. So you'd go home, just freshen up, get back in the uniform, and go back for work. So for us, there's nothing to say, I work from 8 hours to 17 hours. Anytime you can be called upon due to the nature of the work. But suffice to say that I try to balance, because I don't want my children or my family to fill the gap, to say our mother is absent, because I know that I'm a very vital component in their lives. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, so how do you differentiate between the Esther in the office and the Esther at home or in the community? You know, being a police officer, you always have to check your environment, check everything is safe. How do you just be you?
Yeah, it is important. You have to look at, to separate the office from you as Esther. Because when you are in the office, you've gone there as an employed person. Like for me, as someone who is speaking for the institution. So when I'm doing my work, I remove the Esther, because whatever I'll be speaking, it is not representing myself or my family. So mostly when we are speaking, we say we. We remove the aspect of me, I, this. You say, we have done this, because you're speaking on behalf of everyone. But when you go in the community, you, like for the institution, you are the image of that institution. When people see you, they feel you are police. At times, people even feel you are the person who is in charge of the whole police.
True.
Because I am the one who is in the front line, having an interface with members of the public. So others feel maybe I'm the overall boss of the institution. So even in my private time, private dealings, people will still see the police in you.
True.
Yeah, people still see the police in you. In an instance, even when you have your free time, you maybe find someone. When they find you, they even stop talking about what you want. They'll start talking about the institution.
Exactly.
You go with your family, the people see you, what about that issue?
True.
No, here, this happened, in our area. They start bringing those complaints. Do you know the way we are treated at the police station? So you can't say, no, I'm not working, so I can't respond to that. So you just have to.
So you're working 24/7.
24/7.
I remember this morning I was telling my son that I'm going to have an interview. So he says, with who? And the first thing that came to mind, and I said, the boss of the police. Mommy, the boss of the police, because that's how we know you. Because you're the first person that is in contact with all of us. Yes. And we tend to think that you are the boss of
Indeed.
Which I think you are, and you've done a great job as a woman.
Thank you very much. So when you go in the community, being the face of the institution, even what you do, you have to check your conduct. True. You have to check what you are saying, because even a joke about your work, people will take it.
True.
And they will quote it to say, police have said this.
Yeah.
So even what you say, you have to check.
Isn't that difficult for you?
It's just a matter of discipline. I think I've been in that office for almost 4 years now. So it's the discipline that you need to have and separate yourself as an individual from the work of the institution, which is difficult. So you just have to be disciplined throughout. So that you are not found on the other side of the coin.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so we take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the food that you like, songs that you like listening to. I hope you can sing one or two songs for us. Okay, we take a short break, and when we come back, we continue talking to Madam Esther Mwata Katongo, the police spokesperson. Don't go away.
To advertise on this program and enjoy amazing introductory rates, please call us on +260 211 290959 or +260 211 290912 or +260 953 538 000 or send us an email at loyolazam@gmail.com.
Welcome back. If you're joining us now, I am talking to Madam Esther Mwata Katongo, the Zambia Police spokesperson, and she's just sharing her story and how she ended up where she is today. Now, before we went on break, you were telling us how that you have to make sure that whatever you say matters, where you are matters. I think that's a very difficult life that you lead. Now, many times for all of us, whenever we want to know or find out whether the message or the information that is being disseminated in the country is true, we first have to hear your voice. And I think many times you tell us how many accidents have happened, how many people have died. How do you separate yourself, or rather your emotions, from the news that you're giving us, especially if it's bad news?
Usually it goes with, it begins from the training that we receive when you go for training. For instance, in my case, I was trained at Lilai Training School for the Zambia Police. So when you go there, what they would want to induce in you is the strength. They would want you to be a strong person. And they will begin by, first of all, mocking you. They'll mock you when you just go there. You go with a civilian mind, then you feel like, for me, as I already said, I was coming from the background of being a journalist, yes, where you are treated with that respect, you're moving with the handbags and the like, So even when I went for training, I had my nice watch that time. Then I had my handbag. So the moment I reached, this instructor just saw me. I just said, Nangaba, achokera kut, So already you feel like someone is disrespecting you, things like that. So even when you want to show your emotions and the like, other people will also join and start mocking you. Even the training itself.
It's different.
It is different. It is the training that will make you suit in every situation. When you go in town, we find different people. When you go in town, you'd find people, so maybe you'd be carrying a gun, a firearm. So they would want you not to act based on your emotions. That's the training that we undergo. You don't have to act based on emotions, because if they don't remove that aspect in your life or attitude, you may end up shooting people anyhow.
Everywhere.
Yes.
Wow.
So that was part of the training. So even now, that training is what is, helping. I think you've seen also that whenever there is any unnatural death, accidents, murder, which is a natural death, we are the first people to get to the scene. We are the people that pick those bodies. We are the people who go and attend the post-mortem. They go start cutting the body and they're like, you're there, you have to witness what the doctor is doing. So we are like, we've taken it as a part of our job. So if you become emotional, you'll be crying every day. But we also feel bad. But that the emotion that we have should not supersede the work that we are supposed to do.
Yeah.
And when people see us, they should see someone who has gone to give them hope.
Yeah.
Someone who has gone to give them help. Now, if you go to a scene or maybe you're announcing, for me, I give the statistics, I give the happenings, the occurrences, then you start showing emotions, you even drop the tears, people will lose
Trust and
trust,
confidence
they will
in you.
hope.
True.
You know, they'll become hopeless. Say, this person, the people supposed to help us are the ones who are crying.
Crying.
So ours is to give hope to the people. But being human beings, we feel bad, actually. And what breaks my heart, even when I'm reporting, is abuse of a child, especially defilement. When a child is defiled, I usually think deeply. I think there I even add emotions there, because I feel bad.
You fail
when
to
a
differentiate that I'm now doing my job
Yes,
here.
I fail to
Yeah.
differentiate. Sometimes I would
The
even
mother
say,
instinct kicks
yes,
in.
I would even say, I want to see this suspect. I don't want to ask him why he did such a thing. You know, I feel bad.
Yeah.
But all the same, we have to control our emotions, compose yourself, give the information so that the people can judge from what you have given.
Fantastic. Now, you've talked about something that is very important. You've talked about the police being the ones that give us hope, that protect us. There is a perception out there, especially in our country, that police do not understand. I mean, remember, I think in my opening remarks, I jokingly said, I had to check myself, is everything okay? Because that's a perception that people have out there. Why do you think it's like that? Why do you think a lot of people do not trust the police, but instead think, this officer will not even understand, even if I tell him that, look, I'm not wrong. You argue, and before you know it, you are locked up. Why is that perception?
Yeah, I think
Like
we
that?
won't be right to say a lot of people. Some people feel or think like that. Yes, some people still feel like that. And at times it's because of the background where we're coming from as an institution. We are coming from the era of police force, the use of force in execution of our duty. That does not mean to say that we are not using force as an institution, even when we are a service. The nature of our job is also, in some instances, it demands the use of force. That's why even in the constitution, in the legislations which we have, like the Criminal Procedure Code, the Police Act, and these other tools which we use as police, there is that allowance of you using force. Now, where we are coming from, we were a Zambia Police Force. So what was coming out prominently is the issue of force, use of force, because it was being exaggerated. And I think that time we didn't have, the human rights were not so much pronounced, unlike it is today. So the officers then were using excessive force as they were doing their job. So people were running away from the institution. And that's why we bring in the reforms of the institution, where we thought maybe let us also change the name from Zambia Police Force to Zambia Police Service, because what we are giving is a service to the members of the public. Although we are using minimum force, we are providing a service. In providing that service, in some instances, we may use some form of force. Now, we still have officers who would want to be excessive as they are applying the law. Others, probably, they don't want to take some complaints seriously. Sometimes it's as a result of a misunderstanding. You'd find that maybe a member of the public does not understand where the officer may end in the execution of his duty when they take a complaint, because not every complaint that goes to the police is a criminal offense or demands an officer to act. You know, so at times if officers have not acted, people will feel, police could even have a menevachita. At times, when using the force, maybe they become excessive, then people will say, our police, they are not people that we can trust.
Sure.
But I can assure you that we have a lot of professional police officers. It's only that when something which is bad happens, it is blown
Out of proportion.
Yeah, and people would now, they'll get that and generalize that, which is not supposed to be the case. Yes, so that's why maybe you're saying the officers, some people feel they cannot trust the police and
Yeah.
they like it's because of the experiences that they've had. Some people who denounce the police does not, in areas where they denounce the police, it doesn't mean that the police was wrong. In some areas or in some situation, you'd find that yes, the police could have been wrong.
Yeah.
So it's a two-way thing. And you know, the nature of our work is to, you know, we take away some of your rights. So people don't like that. So at the end of the day, if you had, maybe you had an encounter with a police officer, you feel police officers are not good people. But if you were helped by police officers, you say, police officers are good people. So in everywhere where you go, you will never find people talking good about the police. It's because of the nature of our work.
Okay, so you
So we
really
just
have
try to manage so that it does not go out of proportion.
Out of proportion, for sure.
The misconception shouldn't go out of proportion. So we have to manage so that we are within. Yeah.
Perfect. I love this. You've answered my question. See? I'm sure you've done it. You've done the same for a lot of people that are watching us now. So let's find out what you like doing. Do you like singing? Do you like dancing? If you're not working, if you're not a mother, what are some of the things that you like doing?
Dancing, Mwangala, I'm not there.
I like that. I like the honesty.
Yeah,
Singing?
you know, they can be a very, very nice song. People are dancing. I will sit, even if you'll be there from morning up to the following
You will
day
not
morning.
even nod your head
I
or
will
something?
not even nod my head. I'll just be like this,
Okay, so what do you like
watching
doing?
those who are...
And criticizing. Simula vine bueno
No,
hapa.
I don't even criticize. Yeah. So what I like doing, listening to music, yes, I do.
What's your favorite music?
Gospel and reggae.
Reggae?
Yeah, reggae.
Ooh.
You know, for gospel music, I enjoy so much music by Mwangala.
Okay.
Yeah, because it has meaning. You are able to her music relates to situations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I like reggae because most of reggae music talks about justice. So I enjoy listening to the message in
All right,
reggae.
so this is who the Lucky Dubes,
Lucky Dubes,
the rest are Bob Marley, the
Tosh.
Peter. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I know Redemption song. I'm sure you know
Yes,
that
yes,
one.
yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
The No Woman, No Cry
No
also.
Cry, yeah.
Oh, wow. So which one are you singing for?
I
For
can't
the
sing.
people out there.
I can't sing. I just listen to music. Like
Oh, okay, that's great. Before we come to the end of the program, what message do you have for the people out there that are watching us now?
Yes, the message that I would have for the people, especially the young ones, is that they need to trust themselves, let them have trust in themselves. They should set goals. At times, the goals which we may set, we may not necessarily follow that route, but it will give you the zeal to work more and want to achieve that goal, but God will always direct you to your destiny, to your destination. And mostly we've seen a lot of young ones losing it in life because the life nowadays has become so fast. People want material things and they like, but what they don't realize is that those material things are just maybe, they don't last. The young ones should look at their future because they still have a future.
Yeah.
So they shouldn't want to rush and have material things now because they may not see the future. It's better you perfect your future, you make your future bright through your effort. Even as you reach your destination, which God has, which is destined to you, you will even feel good to say that you did something, to be where you are. Yeah, so for us to be even where we are, we know that we have not yet arrived, but for us to be where you are, and for you, Mwangala, to be where you are, we have a background.
Yeah.
We have a background, we're given guidance by the parents, And we followed that. Now, today, we are seeing a lot of young ones disregarding the guidance that is being given to them by the parents who've been there. They have got the experience and they know how you can lose it as a child. But nowadays, the young ones feel when you tell them, you are outdated, you are not matching with what is happening now. But the outcome is always there.
True.
So they need to invest in their future by working hard, not by jumping on opportunities of material things where you see someone maybe, especially the girls, you see someone who has, a lot of things, material things, cars, and they're like, I've arrived, this is where I am. At the end of the day, you go nowhere.
True.
The boys also,
same.
They shouldn't look at the material things, because at the end of the day, you would want to do a wrong thing to acquire what another person has. So, young ones, work hard for your future. Invest for your children. The way your parents invested in you, also invest for your children.
You pay it forward.
Yes.
Great. Now, if you were on your deathbed and God gave you a second chance to live, what would you do differently?
Differently. Deathbed. That's a difficult question. What I would do differently? What I would say is that in life, when you are growing up, we go through a lot of things. There are some things maybe which I wouldn't even want to share, to say, I wouldn't have done that, But, God has been so gracious and He has seen us through to where we are. So on the deathbed, I need to think about it.
I like that. You're on your deathbed, you're lying there, and God says, okay, I'm giving you another 5 years to live. So you're on your deathbed, literally He's showing you how your life has been, what you have done. And you're looking back. It's like you're watching a movie. And now He's saying, I'm giving you a second chance to live. What are some of the things you do differently? Would you still want to be the Esther that you are now? Or would you want to...
I think so. The Esther that I am now, yes. I would still want to be the Esther that I am. And maybe just increase on community work. Yes, I know within what I have, the little thing I have, they say don't blow your own trumpet, but I am one person who identifies a need in another person. And when I see that there is a need in that area where I'm able to help, I do help. But there are instances where you can't help. And at times you may have, then you have already planned it for something else. Then you would not help in that scenario, even when you have. So I think if I was given chance, God said, we're giving you a chance, I think I would go flat out in community service.
Wow, so you give more.
I enjoy that. I would give more. I give, but I would give more.
Powerful.
Yeah, and being human beings, we also err, we sin. But I don't think you can promise God to say, I'll never sin, because we are human beings.
Of course not. Well, I know that you watch Ignite with Mwangala.
Yes,
When I came to your office, you said, I watch your program, I love your program. I'm so grateful that today we're actually sitting on the same program that you watch, and we're talking about you.
Yeah, I'm humbled.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much, Mwangala. We are humbled.
All the best.
As Zambia Police and as the Katongo family.
Fantastic. I know yours is a difficult job, but we'll keep praying for you, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So there you have it. I was talking to Esther Mwata Katongo, the Zambia Police spokesperson. This has been Mwangala Chakalashi Santos, and remember to make every day count. Join me for another exciting episode.